Howdy folks, Little John in the kitchen. This current episode of Brew Food, and today I'm not so much doing food, I'm doing a condiment. I'm cooking up some red onion, caramelised red onion chutney, relish, that sort of thing. Topping for your for steak and sandwiches and stuff like that. This is good stuff. This is really nice and yummy. So before we get right into it, big shout out to Little John's Patreons. I'm going to do a draw before the end of this video. Pick out a name for who's going to win prize. First video of the month. That's the new agreement with the Patreons. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But right now, let's get on with the cooking. Okay, and got the big pot of onions going here. This is about it's about 1.25 kilos of red onions, Spanish onions. And I'll just slice these up, sort of just a half ring slices. Sort of thinnish, not particularly thin, a bit of a mix. There's a mix between, reasonably thin and fairly chunky. You'll see there's fairly chunky ones there, and then there's little thin ones. I want a good variety. Okay, I've got this in the pot. I'm just on a sort of medium heat. Got about a tablespoon of oil in here, just enough to help things along. But I don't want to fry these. We're going to just cook these up nice and slow. So this is going to cook for quite a while. Probably an hour and a half to 2 hours, and we'll just come back and stir it as we go, and this will cook down and caramelise. Okay, once that's caramelised down and cooked off and come down to, there's not going to be a hell of a lot of it left, but from there we add the rest of our ingredients. So I'll give that time now to cook down. I'll give it a stir every sort of 10 minutes or so, just to make sure it's not burning. And to move it around, make sure all the onions getting nice and cooked. So back soon. Okay, onions have been on now for half an hour, a bit over. So let's check them out. Okay. So we're splitting off nicely. And we're just starting to get a little bit of caramelisation on the bottom of the pan, just a tiny bit. But as you can see, we're not cooking, we're not getting any browning on the onions. We're just softening them up nice and slowly. And you can see already a reduced quite considerably the amount we got here. So we'll continue to let this go. We'll give another half an hour and come back. Okay, gone now about another 20 minutes on the onions, and they're just getting to the point where I'm happy with them. Sort of judge where you want your onions a little bit yourself. I like to have just a little, still have a little bit of crunch, a little bit of resistance. I don't want them completely soft. So I'm happy to continue for me with the next step. So now we're going to add in the flavourings and the stuff that's going to make the sauce to get around these onions. So what I'll be adding will be some balsamic vinegar. I've got about 4 tablespoons here. About a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. Just some grated ginger. I'm going to use about only about bloody 1/4 of a teaspoon, just a little bit, just for a hint. And some whole grain mustard. You can throw just mustard seeds in. I'll just go for the whole grain because that's what I've got. I've got the whole grain mustard there. And I'll throw in about about half a tablespoon of that into the mix. So we'll get that happening. So the first thing we want to do is we want to deglaze the pan just to get any of the stuff off the bottom with some balsamic vinegar. And you can see there on the bottom just starting to get some cooking on there. The onions are looking nice, so in with the vinegar. Get that in first, and that'll pull up just all those bits of stuff off the bottom of the pan. Now apple cider, just for a little kick. Brown sugar. Just a little bit of ginger. And a nice whack of the, actually might get a little bit more of the mustard. And just give that a mix in. Now you can go a little bit more sugar depending on how sweet you want it. I don't want this too sweet. I think that will do us nicely. Now I'm going to drop the heat just a little bit, just down to almost as low as I can get it. And I'm going to let this cook now for half an hour to an hour, and just really let it come down and reduce. Righto, this is now gone for about 45 minutes. Just stirred about every 15 minutes, and I'm really happy. That's looking really good. It's nice and it's thickened up. There's no real runny, watery sort of liquid in there, so I'm happy with that. That's going to do me. We're ready to bottle that up. Okay, now before we get into getting that into some jars, time for the Patreon draw. As I said, discuss this earlier in the year. The first video of each month I will do a draw for the Patreons, and there'll be a bit of a giveaway. And I know that technically this is the second video of the month. The first video came out on Tuesday. It had been recorded beforehand, so it wasn't actually done. This is the first video I'm doing in February, so it's close enough. Anyway, Patreon, names of all the Patrons in here. For want of keeping things as fair as possible, what I've done is, because there are 3 levels for the Patreon, for each level you get one name in the draw. So some people have the name in here 3 times, some have got their name in there once. So if you're a high level patron, technically you've got a better chance of winning. But hey, everyone's in there. Every patron's in there with a chance. Alright. What I'm looking at this month is there'll be a jar of the onion relish going along. There will be some hops, and I will probably throw in a couple of small bags of grain, good size for steeping into some brews. So that's what's going to be coming out to one lucky Patreon. We'll probably get it sometime next week, as long as I get off my arse and get it posted this week. Anyway, let's go. Here we go. Let's see who is the lucky winner. And here we be, and it is Stephen Sizer. So, Stephen, you are the lucky winner today. And again, I've tried this before, and it's difficult with this camera because it doesn't always focus properly. I don't even know if I've got it right, but anyway, that's it there. Stephen Sizer, you are the man, you are the winner for this month. So enjoy your stuff, mate. But let's get back on with it. Let's get some of this yummy relish in the jars. So just got a couple of little jars here. These are little 200 ml jars. I'm going to make a couple of those up, and I'll probably have enough left over. I can probably do myself a another jar as well. So I just want to take a spoon, and I don't want to bloody drop this all over me tea towel, and just into the jar. You can clean up the mess afterwards, that's all good. Full enough. Tidy him up so it presents nicely. There we be. And just sit the lid on and just sit that aside for the moment. Just let it cool down before I seal it up. And of course the jars have been sterilised, they're all good and safe. So there's probably enough there to do 4 of these 200 ml jars. But so you do it at home, you just do it in bigger jars. But one's going out to Stephen. I might give one away, and the others I'll keep for myself. This will last about a month in a jar. Keep it in the fridge. So no great rush on it, and it certainly won't last a month around here anyway. So see how she looks. Oh, that's good. Yummo. Oniony. Now, I did add a little bit extra of brown sugar after the initial, well, I've done a quick taste, it wasn't quite as sweet as I would have liked, so I put about another probably 2 tablespoons in. And that level is just really nice, there's a nice little bit of nice sweetness there. It's a nice little bite from the vinegar. Mustard's there just doing its thing there. Just a really nice balance. As I said, you play around, throw a bit more brown sugar in, bit more vinegar. You know, get your balance where you want to get it. But that's a nice starting point. That's a really nice relish. I said beautiful on steak or sausages and barbecue. Hot dogs, fantastic on hot dogs. Cold meat sandwiches, on toast. I had some on toast the other morning for breakfast. Bloody beautiful. Just stick it on the table at a barbecue. Let people go for it. That's good stuff. Anyway, so that's the Brew Food done for. Well, technically it's February now. We missed January. Not that it's happening every month. But anyway, we're done. Brew Food. Red onion caramelised relish. Yummo, good stuff. Get into it. Have a go. Comments and questions down the bottom if you feel inclined. As I said, Patreons, thank you guys very much. The link's down the bottom. Go check it out, see what it's about. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and if you're sitting there watching the video, hit that like button as well. All these things help keep Little John going. Okay. In all honesty, it keeps me off the streets and keeps me out of trouble. So, cheers guys. I'll catch you next time.